here because I know I'm not going to be holding it and doing all that extra stuff. I'm not. That is just not my style. I'm going to be free. I'm going to use my hands a lot. So, yeah, we'll see. Oh my goodness, there's something in my eye. Okay, anywho, hi you guys. So, today we are just outside chilling, relaxing, trying to take some of this beautiful scenery in before I have to return back. And yeah, enjoy this weather before the tornado warning hits. Y'all, what just happened? Before the tornado warning hits, y'all, my head just really want to tangle up. I think I should just put it in the lower. It does not want to do its thing. I'm just gonna let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Need to wash it anyway. Alright, so anywho, yeah, I definitely need to wash this. Anywho, y'all, shoot. There we go. Did you hear that? I just heard a dog. I knew it wasn't my dog, because my dog is right here, right next to me, so that was intriguing. So I don't want to be on here long because I know it's going to be a storm and I'm going to have to go indoors because it looks like it's going to start. We also have a tornado warning. So basically, I love reflecting. I love learning things of what I do every day, things like that. Because when you learn, you write down and you learn your patterns, you're able to make different changes. When you're aware of something that you don't like, you're able to make a conscious decision on how you can change it. You might say you want to change something, but if you don't know what the problem is, you can't change it. Okay. And so when you write down your sequencing and things like that, you can find the patterns. And so that's what I did. So yesterday I ended up working. I got off a little bit early, and I talked to a person that I was used to be considered a friend. And later on, I just felt like we were parting ways. And I was like, okay, whatever. We ended up getting in contact again, right? And let me tell y'all, it was kind of funny. I didn't think of it at first, but it was kind of funny because all of a sudden, this person popped up as soon as I said I was going to try my best to be the best person I could possibly be. I was going to try my best to live in integrity and honesty no matter what. I'm not going to, I'm not more a person that gossips, but I will be a person that listens to everyone's opinion and everyone's saying, even if I don't believe it, I'll let people be free to say whatever they want to say. Bigger. I don't know what bigger is, sir. Bigger. Bigger monkey. I don't know. Okay. So, anyhow, I decided to, go about my day. And so, that person kept calling me, telling me we needed to hang out. And they wanted to do some things that they knew that I really wasn't into. Going around just hang. I love going out. I love having dinner. I love meeting and connecting. Slay Betty and AJ. Hi to everyone who's on. Maybe I should start coming on in the evening, but usually I am working. I'm working or I'm working on my business or something. So, but thank you for everyone who's here. Hi. And so I get up and I'm going, I'm talking to the person and I'm like, okay, I know that this person really doesn't have a lot of direction. They don't have a lot of direction in their life. They seem very kind. And that was my issue in the first place of having that hesitancy of letting this person go because we used to be so close. But I noticed that in order for me to have more clarity and more direction in where I wanted to go, I had to leave some of those relationships, and I had to focus a little bit more on what. Um, Hi there, George. Hi there, Slay Batty. It's not funny. I don't know. So yeah, I decided to uh separate, give myself some parting ways. Okay. And so um when that person came back, I was like, okay, but they still had that same mindset. And so I put it on pause. I almost was reluctant because they were having this whole pity party. And I also remembered that every time I used to say no, or maybe, or have another alternative to where we used to hang out, um, I would be like, feeling guilty, and I'd be like, okay, I'll cave in. And so this time, I was able to catch it and was like, you know what? No. Am I going to value my view, or, what I've been told, what my creator told me I need to do in order to progress? Or am I going to listen to somebody else who's not even listening to what they have inside of themselves to do? Okay. And I decided for myself that, I'm going to go and listen to that inner voice. I'm going to listen to the voice inside of me. I'm going to listen to the voice of God and go ahead and keep processing and going through. And so that's what I did. And this person went from being so nice to me and so kind to being cruel, mean, and plain right evil, y'all. I literally saw this woman go, like, change 180, not 360, because 360 you'll be in the same direction, you went in a whole circle. This lady went from opposite sides of the spectrum, from joy and love to straight hatred. Okay, for me, for what I stand for, bringing out everything that she thought that would injure or hurt me. And I know the old me, I would have just went to her door. I would have went to her door, um, and I probably would have showed up, y'all. I definitely would have showed up, but um I didn't. I could see that I was being changed. I was being changed from the inside out, and I could see that what she was projecting onto me and what she was saying about me had nothing to do with me. Now, look at these comments, y'all. I want y'all to look in the comments if y'all have some time. Look up and scroll up when the person was trying to call me the you know what word and call me a monkey. Okay? Because, God has things to happen all the time like this so you can see. He really, see, the enemy would come out and try to knock you down, make you feel defeated. If I hadn't had tough skin and lived in the real world, because a lot of these people, they hide behind cameras. When you go and see them, that's different. That's different. Like, baby, I grew up in Haiti and freaking Gary, so you really want to think twice before you talk like that, But I know people who are like that, so I can see it doesn't offend me too much anymore, because I know you're not about that life. And even if you was, where you at? You see what I'm saying? People hide behind that, and you can't change how people are. That's just a reflection of them. That's just a reflection of them. People will try to deflect. They'll try to bring you out of character, not because they don't you're not doing right. It's because you're doing right. It's because that they're so upset that they feel like they can't get out of the rut that they feel in, the ruts of life, the issues of life. So they feel like they need to bring you down. When I say bring you down to crumplets, okay? Um, and they will use all kind of tactics until you give in. Okay, when you don't give in, that's when they start really attacking you. That's when they start really hating you. You don't fall for the same tactics that they do. One of the things that this person that I was talking about, that contacted me, would do is she would act like she was really, really nice, really, really kind, and offer to do something for me. Y'all be careful with people who do stuff like that. And I would say, okay, no, I don't think, we used to take turns, but there was a time where I could not. And the reason why I could not, go out a lot and take turns, was because I was trying to rebuild my life. I was trying to do a lot for school. I was serving in my community. I was doing a lot of pageants. There were a lot of things that were coming into my life that I needed to focus on, that I didn't have the time, the money, or the energy, sometimes all three at the same time, to go and do these things. And this person was like, well, don't worry about it. I'm your friend. I'm this, I'm that. And you will think about it, because, a true friend would do that. I've been in situations where I had to be on the receiving end and I had to be on the other side of the end doing the same thing for other friends. And so, I was like, okay, I trusted that person. That person would use that and turn it against me and use it and tell somebody else and convince them that I'm a user. I'm leeching off of them and things like that. And of course, people, if they don't know the whole side of the story and they only know one side and this person is feeding to them, a lot of times they'll believe it because they only seen one side of that person's character. They'll find out a little bit later. And this person would do that time and time again with people until they started finding out. And when I started catching on, I had already went through abusive relationships, so I started seeing a lot of the signs. I started reviewing a lot of things about issues that go on with my life. So when you see issues like that, there's usually two things that people do. Either they try to convince the person, who is targeting them, the people, the flying monkeys. They'll try to convince them that they're not an evil person, or they're not a mean person, or they're not what is being projected to them, or they'll pull back. Okay. And I used to feel like if you pulled back, you would be you are being cowardly, and that person must be the liar, because that's what they tell you. If you're not saying anything, you must be the liar. Or if everyone is believing this, then it must be true. When it's not the case. It is not the case, y'all. And so, but time reveals everything. And so once I started getting wiser and I started pulling back, people were able to see, because their habits were the same. Your habits are going to be the same too. People are going to see you. They know you by your fruits. They know you by your fruits, what you're saying, what things are going on, what things are happening in your life. You can tell if somebody is being healthy. Don't go too far. Someone who's being healthy and saying that they're working out and they're on a weight loss regimen, if and their hormones are balanced, because sometimes that happens when your hormones are not balanced and your body's trying to catch up. But you could tell if somebody who is doing this diligently and they're working on their bodies and things like that by what you see, the fruit. Are they losing weight? Are they slimming down? Do they have a smaller chin? Are their arms smaller? Do they feel like they have more energy? People forget about that. When you lose weight, you have more energy. Okay. You're going to see that by the fruits. That's the same thing about someone who, if they're telling you that a person is a freeloader and blah, 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 and whoop de whoop, right? Eventually, you're going to see that outcome from that person. But guess what? It didn't happen that way. It happened the total opposite. And I started having people who were on this person's side, who I didn't even know was against me, would tell me, I'm sorry, y'all, I'm looking at my dog. She's just having her little way, roaming around. But they would tell me the things that this woman would say about me and say, oh, yeah, I thought you was this, but I found out that you weren't. And I've had that happen a lot in my life. And so, yeah, that's what I did. I pulled back. And at that point, when you pull back, you might feel a little hesitancy. You might feel sad, but just understand that it is necessary, and don't doubt yourself. It took me a good minute to detach from that person, because every time I would detach from that person, the first time this person did it, I detached from that person cold turkey, because I was like, I don't even know how we started out being friends. That's how, literally. And that person would have a whole sob story. Well, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah. And they would keep doing that. They'll use pity parties. They'll cry. They'll do all kind of things. Okay. Try to get other people involved in the situation. Being a perfect, well-tuned adult. And yeah, so I went through that whole process, but I learned, like, no, I'm not going to have that happen. So when they called again And I saw that, and I was like, okay, I see that this is not physical. This is spiritual. This is spiritual. Okay. Um, and that's because things, when you get your energy back, when you get your peace back, because when you're in when you don't listen to that inner voice inside of you, when you don't listen to that, you end up giving yourself off to people, places, and things that are not deserving of it. Okay? And when they see that you really do have light, when they see that you are a kind person, okay, when they see that you do have goals and you're on your path to obtaining them, and you're able to say, I don't know how to get it, but I'm willing to go and try and to make my life better. I'm willing to get up and make things better for myself. And you're doing it even when you fall, because people wait, they love to hear you say you're going to do it. A lot of people love that. They love the enthusiasm from the beginning, but they won't help you. A lot of those people really don't think you can do it. But when you do it and you keep going, then they try to knock you down and you fall. They don't expect you to get up. But when you do, that's letting them know. That's letting them know that what they're doing by sitting on the sidelines is not helping them. They got to look back at all the things that they were supposed to be doing, because we all have gifts to give to this place we call earth here. But a lot of people tap out, and a lot of people have tapped out of life a long time ago. I don't give a care how old they are. When you start getting closer to finding out who God created you to be, you start finding out that on this journey that a lot of people have not grown out of 14, 15-year-old people. Matter of fact, they tell us in psychology that most people are stuck at the age of between 7 and 10 emotionally. Okay? Most. There are very few people who really go for their goals and go for what they really desire out of life. They stop somewhere because they either been taught through visuals. They've been taught through visuals, through hearsay. They've been knocked down by people who knew that they really had talent. They knew that they really had something special to give to the earth. They, not to do it. Okay? And when they see you do it, there's some people who can say, okay, I see where you're at. And they want to help. But a lot of people don't. They will try to knock you down. Okay? They will try to knock you down at any price and at any cost, because they feel like time has ran out on them, not understanding that time runs out when you don't come back in this vessel called a body. Okay? That's when you know you don't have any more time to make things better. Okay? Especially if you live in this day and age. There are people who are doing miraculous things. Okay? Yeah, miraculous things, and it's not even based off of age or anything like that. And so, y'all, I don't know. I've been feeling a little weird presence behind me. Now, I don't like it. Holy Spirit, cover this place. Amen. Okay. Anywho, but there are people who are like that. There are people who are just like that. Especially this person who is OG5. I'm sure he has a hidden face, because people will come out here, and I guarantee y'all, the person who called me that, I'll bet you I probably even know that. I probably even know that person, y'all. I can tell y'all some stuff. This is why I say go with the creator. Listen to what the creator says. I have people at my job, and I do not give out my social media to none of them, okay? None. Okay? Usually don't. Let me take that back. Usually don't, because I gave it to two. And I kind of regretted a little bit of giving it to the two. But the two I had to, because of some things I had to get done with them. But I don't do it because when people see who you are, for one, people are spiteful. You see how they go about on your social media, and they try to pry. People try to find out things about you. They try to go and mess up people's jobs, their incomes, all kind of stuff. Mess with your family, find out where you work at, where you live, where your hobbies at, show up at places. I would have people that would do that to me. I would have people do that to me all the time, y'all. It was so weird. It was so crazy. And so, um, oh shoot, it was so weird and so crazy. So, anywho, um, once I got to that point, I said, "Nah, I need to protect myself." Especially when you're doing greatness, when you are trying to achieve something, you have to protect your life. You have to protect everything about you at all costs. You would be surprised people who smile in your face, who would act like they're your friend, like this woman would do. She would act as if she was my friend, y'all. Still act as if she was my friend. She never knew what I knew, what those people was telling me. You know, she never did, cause I ain't had no reason to go back and tell nothing. It wasn't my job. So I should have called my head, but anywho, I'm not even gonna worry about it. But people will do this to you. You have to protect yourself. Protect yourself at all costs. There are some people who just want to be by you because they see that you have a gift or you have something that they want to get attached to. There's some people who want to get close to you just to take you out. I never thought that, because I was like, okay, I don't have much. I don't have much. Now I know I got God. People will say all kind of stuff. I do have a huge family. I do have a large family. But I'll just say okay? But I know one thing for certain, you know, I do have God. I do have God. Um, and so a lot of people, and not only that, you can see God's favor on me. And a lot of people will attach to me because of that. A lot of people will attach to me because I'm open to sharing. I'm kind. I'm not the, super nice person. I'm going to tell you kind of bluntly what's going on, but not to try to harm you or anything. But that's what it is. But I keep saying but. Um, yeah, but I'm just like that. And a lot of people will see the gift on you. They will see God trying to anoint you or reward you, or you going up and you're on your path. Like I said, you're on your path to finding greatness or going into the field that you want to go into. And these people can't stomach it. Okay. So you have to be careful of who you entertain, who you are around, cover what you're listening to. Cover your ear gates, your eye gates. You see somebody who's gossiping or putting around, and you've already, made a decision to do stuff better. Move around from it when you see it. If you're on a weight loss journey and all of a sudden you're seeing food, people are offering you food, and all the people that are around you want to snack and go out, and you know what you got to go for. Cut them people off. Cut them people off, especially if they know that you're doing that. If you're trying to lose weight, or I'm telling y'all, these people will come out and try to sabotage you. So you have to listen. You have to listen. Um, you have to listen to the voice of God and listen to what He's saying, and make sure you don't flinch when He tell you to move instantly. I got scared when He was telling me to move away from certain people and do this and doing that, even with certain family members. And later on, I thank God that He did. I thank God for being God, because God knows everything. And so, um, yeah, He protected me from a lot. By giving me that warning and me, listening to it. It saved me. It saved me from a lot of heartache, a lot of heartbreaks, and a lot of setbacks. Okay. This time is I'm telling y'all, when y'all start getting closer, you could just start seeing, when you get more into truth and understanding what truth really is, you can see stuff that you did not see before. You can see when someone is not really on your side. You can see how people really feel about you when they smile in your face and they tell you congratulations and all that. And they really had that little short like, oh, I wish it wasn't you. Okay? All right. So yeah, be careful of that. Be careful of that. Listen to your creator. These people will change. If you supposed to you need support for stuff, God will supply the people for support. Okay? Don't try to take it to your own self. When you try to do that, you come across, you get the crowd of enemies, secret sabotagers. You get all these kind of weird people. You get all these types of flows of people. Okay? You get all types of people that you don't even want to deal with. You think that you want to deal with because they putting on the show. You know, if somebody was to tell me that 2 years ago that same woman would do the things that she did to me for me to stop talking to her in the first place, I would have told them that they're a lie. I probably would have got so rage and angry to the point that I did want to go and have some kind of confrontation with them. Okay? There are some people who will give you half truths just for you to stumble. Okay? And don't take stuff into your own hands, into your own little mindset. None of that. Don't do it. Don't do it, y'all, because it can knock you. But God sees everything. He sees everything. And if He's your provider, He's going to guide you and navigate you through these obstacles we call like the things that we don't see. We're not even supposed to be focused on the things that we see. The things that we see here are temporary. The things that we don't see is eternal. You know, you got to keep your mind and don't get into the negative thought or the negative setbacks of what if this doesn't happen? What if I hurt somebody's feelings? Listen, most of them people don't care about your feelings. If they did, they wouldn't have said crazy stuff to you about you. You know, they're not. She's not gonna say that stuff up front to me because she know I probably would fight her. Just like that guy or whoever. I think it's a guy though, because most of the time when it's stuff like that, it is some women who do that, but most of the time it's this guy. Who put this on my chat. Um, and said that negative stuff. Um, they do that. They never liked you. So why do you spend energy? Don't give energy. Don't feed that. Don't feed it. Okay? You're all about making yourself better. That's the reason why they're coming up to you. You know, I'm not going on his page or on that person's page because they're a non-factor in my life. Okay? They're a non-factor. They don't hold light. But yet and still they're on my page, you know? Because I am a factor. So you got to remember that. Nobody comes to a dim house. Nobody robs a broken house. Okay? If you have gifts that God has given you, nobody's going the enemy people when people hate and they do all that, they just don't hate on nothing. Okay? They just don't go against just nothing. So understand that you got to have something even if you don't know. You know, that was some things God had to show me about myself that was good about me cuz what I was taught or what people would tell me. Some people say, "Oh yeah, you beautiful, you attractive, blah blah blah," but a lot of those, a lot of those, um, issues that I had to find out was self discovery. Wasn't God started showing me who I was? I started to see. God started showing me how other people could see it before I could see it. And I used to be like, well, let me go around people who, you know, who could see it before I could, so they will help me. Not all of them are trying to help you. Not all of them, you know. And this, especially in this day and age, we're seeing that more than ever. We're seeing that more than ever. Okay, where there are people who are in professional settings who are doing it, and it's been happening. Just people are coming out and talking about it. That they will go and act like they're helping, and they do have the resources, and they don't. Okay, so like I said, I'm gonna get off of here, but just remember that. Just follow what the created, you know, has you to do. Follow that. Separate from those people. Don't, because you don't want to fight what they had. You don't want to fight what they had over them. Okay. I'm gonna get off of here. Hopefully, something I said or done will help you on your journey. Please stay tuned to Journey to Jerusalem, y'all. Bye.